For women and mothers returning from maternity leave, I think it can be a very uncertain period of time. You've got new, potentially competing priorities that you need to manage. Also, employers don't always handle return to works as sensitively as they possibly should do. You have a number of rights as a returning mother. In particular, one of your rights is not to be made redundant. You shouldn't be made redundant when you're on maternity leave or when you're returning to work. There are certain circumstances where your employer might be able to make you redundant, and in those circumstances it's really important to understand what your rights are, because in those circumstances you are a priority for any redeployment back into the company. You shouldn't be required to competitively interview for a new role, for example. So if it's a redundant situation, then absolutely encourage women to seek out some advice at an early stage. Generally speaking, just returning to your job, your rights will depend on how long you've been out of the workforce on maternity leave for. If you've been away for less than 26 weeks, you're entitled to your same job back. If you've been away for a longer period, then you're entitled to your same job back unless it's very difficult for your employer to give you that job back for whatever reason, and understanding that whatever reason is obviously going to be very important in that circumstance, and that's where a lawyer can assist. Where we see a lot of issues, unfortunately, for returning mothers is, they get back in, they get their same job back, and it all seems initially to be okay, but they very quickly realise that they're no longer on track for that promotion that they were before their leave. Their maternity cover has been promoted over them. Rights or responsibilities or special managerial duties have been taken away. Sometimes clients have been taken away for the period of the maternity leave, and then there's no reasonable explanation as to why they can't be given back. And if you're experiencing any of those kinds of issues, then that's potentially discrimination, and you really need to be speaking to a lawyer about these issues.